Good evening. How much of your life are you actually living, and how much of it are you just spending, waiting for the real thing to finally begin? We spend our entire lives terrified of death, but I wonder, are we actually terrified of dying? Or are we just terrified of the realization that we spend an entire life waiting for something that was never coming? We're so lost chasing the highlights that we lose sight of the life in between. When we think of important moments, we always imagine a single point in time. A graduation, a victory, a wedding, a life-changing phone call. But if your most important moment is always somewhere in the future, when does the present finally become important enough to actually live in? Well, the truth is, your life isn't happening to you, it's happening through you. And maybe that is why the most important moment in life is so difficult to find. Because we keep looking for one big defining moment, while thousands of small moments are quietly defining us. I figured at this moment, nothing in life is promised except death. So if you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. Many people don't appreciate their moments until it's past. Right now, it's my time and my moment. Living in the now and in the moment is so important, because when you don't do that, you lose all of those precious moments in life. The secret is to be grateful for your life and for what you have. Don't get caught up in the past, don't fantasize too much about the future, and I'm reading my own advice. Just look around and focus on something that makes you happy instantly. And it could be like the smallest things too, because life is not measured by time, it's measured by moments. The moments that ask, are you going to give up? Will you stand up again? And every time we answer those questions, we become someone new. The version of you sitting here today did not appear overnight. You are made of thousands of moments. Some joyful, some painful. Every goodbye, every lesson, every scar, together they build the person you are. And let's be honest, we are obsessed with being finished people. We want to be the person who has all the answers. But ladies and gentlemen, I ask you, what if the answer is not the goal? What if the goal is to remain a question? Isn't that the beautiful thing about being human? We are not finished books. We're books still being written. Every day adds another sentence. Every choice adds another page. Life gains meaning because it is unfinished. Because tomorrow still exists. And change is still possible. Because the person you are today is not the person you must remain forever. And the ending is still unknown. That uncertainty scares many people, but I think it's also what makes life meaningful. Because if we already knew the ending, there will be no reason to dream or to grow. No reason to live. And that brings me back to the question we started with. What is the most important moment in life? After years of thinking about it, I don't believe it's your happiest day or your greatest achievement. I believe the most important moment is the moment that changes who you are. The moment that breaks an old version of yourself and introduces you to a stronger one. I know, sometimes it feels like you're stuck. But where you are now is not where you have to be for the rest of your life. So if you are at a point in your life where you don't like your job or unhappy, please don't get stuck, because tomorrow is another day, and do not ever lose your hope of being able to change things. People, nothing in our life is static. When you look back on your life, look how many different chapters you had. Look how many different circumstances that have shaped you and that have propelled you to where you are today. Not because pain is beautiful, but because transformation is powerful. We often wait for a right time or a perfect guarantee before we act, but this quote changed my life. You'll always wish you started younger, but today is the youngest you'll ever be. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. Being ready isn't a feeling you get, it's a decision you make. And trust me, nothing is stopping you from making that decision right here, right now. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. While it may be frightening, it will also be rewarding, because the chances you take, the people you meet, and the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. So start again. The best thing about life is that every time you fall, you have the chance to pick yourself back up again. And when you get back up, you're not starting from nothing. You're starting from experience. The lessons that you learned from pain and the wisdom that you didn't have before. The precious thing about this question, and why I chose it, is that there is no single answer. Because the most important moment in life is, for some, a victory. For others, a choice, a place, a memory. And for some of us, it's a person. Because sometimes the moments that change our lives don't arrive as moments at all. They arrive as people. Looking back, I don't think my most important moment was a day. I think it was meeting someone who changed the way I saw myself, and because of that, changes the future that follows. Who made me realize there was more ahead of me than I could see at the time. For me, that person was my teacher. So thank you, Mr. Ilepaki, for changing my life. There is something almost impossible about being alive. At this very moment, millions of things are happening in the world. Someone is falling in love. Someone is hearing terrible news. Someone is taking their last breath. And somehow, out of all the places you could have been, out of all the moments you could have existed in, you are here. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, here. We spend so much of our lives searching for the moment that will matter the most, that we forget how unlikely this moment already is. The odds of you being here exactly as you are beyond imagination. Yet, we still treat existence as if it's guaranteed, as if there will always be another summer, another conversation, another chance. But life does not promise more time. It only offers now. And perhaps that is why the question has stayed with us for so long. Not because we're trying to find the most important moment, but because we're trying to understand why any moment matters at all. I think it matters because it ends. I think it matters because it cannot be kept. While we're living it, it's already disappearing. And maybe that is the closest thing life gives us to an answer. The value of a moment is not determined by how extraordinary it looks. It is determined by the simple fact that it will never happen again. Thank you.